you know, and you could see the sigh of relief once Lakey had finally got that win over Tatiana. I mean, this is where these surfers really got to dig deep.
Looking at this matchup, Sally Fitzgibbons and Bronte Macauley. We remember this one from last season. It came in round 2. Bronte was a wild card injury replacement for Lakey Peterson, and Macauley handed Sally her first ever round 2 loss at the season opener. As we look at Bronte in this one, hopping out of that opening ride, went to break, and Sally got a 2.5 to kick it off quickly. So even though Bronte just had a warm-up wave, she's right there in the mix. Bronte, goofy foot. Sally will be taking on this wave on her forehand. Set-up car for Fitzgibbons. Fades back and now setting up this inside track. Doing all the right things at the right time to get to the money wall. Sets it up now. Little chip out front. And still just making her search for something to work with through this inside corner. Quick little fading cut back. Fitzgibbons could find herself an end section to work with. She's gone a long way. There's that rooftop crack through the lip that she was hoping for. Deeper off the bottom, chips it off the roof again. Going the distance, the last 2 turns, she was able to get a little bit more vertical. And now 2 scoring rides on the board for Fitzgibbons. Macauley, the goofy foot from West Oz now, all set up work as this one's going wide. She'll wait for this thing to really start jamming to the inside. Even when the waves go a little bit full and flat, you can carry your speed well. We've seen some of these start off slow and then pick up the pace for the inside track. So all that weight, downtime, was for this section. 1 turn off for Macauley. 1-5 start for her. Now her second scoring ride coming in. Keeping up to the wave count of Fitzgibbons here at 25 on the clock. Fitzgibbons stretched this thing out all the way down the beach, Potts.
Yeah, this was a long wave, you know, and just a lot of downtime, a lot of just transition turns, just trying to find that, you know, nice little section to hit. You know, as windy as it is, I mean, look how clean the face is on this wave. So you've got to find those ones that sort of double up and give you those nice little chip shots, those little pockets. Sally milking this one all the way through. Score slowly coming through for Sally's wave. It's not going to be a bad one. It's almost a keeper, really, when you look at the conditions.
Love that flow, Potts. Sally Fitzgibbons started training hard in the off-season and actually training thinking about style, lifting weights. You've seen that kind of translate to her approach in the water as well.
Yeah, one of the fittest out there for sure. I mean, Sally's training regime is second to none. This young lady, though, what a surprise package she is. You can never underestimate Bronte Macauley. She'll just be cruising along, you know, that heat with Carissa and Steph. She was completely out of it. And then right at the end, she dropped an absolute cracker and got herself back in the heat. So Sally knows that. She's lost to Bronte, you know, last year. Bronte gave her that 25th, first ever 25th.
So this year coming in with something to prove, to get back into that top 3 picture where she often remains throughout her career. She kicked off her top 17 roll with a series of runner-up finishes. Before last season, her lowest result was 4th in the world. And coming back with a lot more experience for the rookie debut. Bronte up now. Nice jam off the roof. Clean backside snap on the second effort. She's got a lot of speed coming off the low road, and she'll stay on her feet for the finish.
Wow, well, there you go. That's the danger signs right there. I mean, it doesn't take much for Bronte to get fired up.
Out to sea is Sally Fitzgibbons. Gets that first connection. This whitewater could carry her all the way down the line. Great sweep off the roof. Just letting that board glide down the line. Springs off the top, passes Bronte. She's hoping for this thing to open back up. Now she'll kick out. So great exchange. All Australian battle. Bronte first. Sally answered quickly. Fitzgibbons has a 2.5 to get rid of. Bronte just lost her 1.5 as they both improved.
Yeah, definitely Bronte's best wave. And
let's have another look at this first section here, Potts.
Well, she starts well. Nice snap back into the pocket. Draws off the bottom again. And a beautiful tag right there finished off nicely. So Bronte, 3 solid maneuvers, and that 1.5 long gone. Sally, let's have a look at her approach. Jams the board nice and vertical, almost lost it right there, but regained. And now waiting for it, biding her time. Watch this turn here from Sally. She draws off the bottom. Beautiful swooping maneuver, throwing a lot of spray as she comes around the section. Jams it nice and vertical again and just sneaks around Bronte. So
quick to congratulate Jordy for the battle. Jordy said that's why he came on the Dream Tour, for heats like that. We've had a lot of great memories in the last few days because we've been doing about 20 heats a day.
Yeah, and the rest.
World champ still in the draw. Tyler Wright, world number 1, has Laker Peterson, who's been really stealing the show. All over the stat sheet is the highest scoring surfer through the Roxy Pro. Fitzgibbons, real cool, stylish start. Fading that, rebounding, and now just flowing down the line on that oncoming section. Really just easy to watch. 6.77 was her last, as she still has her lead out front. How'd you like this wave, Potts?
Well, look how smooth it is. That's what I like about it. Beautiful wraparound cut back to start, and then Sally draws off the bottom. Beautiful, stylish maneuver right there, and then finished off beautifully. So Sally surfing within herself at the moment, which she always does. And again, just 3 solid turns. The judges have been liking that. You know, I think it comes down to wave quality that's going to determine how high your score goes. And have a look at that score for Sally.
8.83 after a 6.77. Showing that you don't need to be on this wave for about a minute, dry docking it through the inside towards Greenmount, pick up some clean water.
This is what you're looking for, though, right when those sets have gone through, find these nice little clean gems.
Bronte with a lot of pep in her step now as she's back into action. She does still have a 7.33 behind her now. Always frames it so well vertically off the roof. Now rolling into this inside track, you can start seeing the sand showing up a little bit more as it gets a little bit shallower on the sandbar. Had some speed, but nowhere to put it. Catch your breath and get back to action. So Bronte's not going to get the score on the last wave. She's going to need more, and Sally's up. Down carve right into a bottom turn. Jams it under the lip. She's picking off a lot of great waves with a smooth face. Little setup carve. Snaps it off the lip, and Fitzgibbons has a little messy whitewater section to work with. Trimming quickly. But she's still finding the glide to hang in there. Now it's like a little inside wedge. She'll fade it, get a quick rebound. Down into the free surf section. This is why she hung in there. She's getting a couple more turns off. As she heads towards Greenmount, she'll just keep the flow alive into a better part of the wave. And that's why she encourages people to train like Sally all around the world. Introducing her own app so she can travel with anyone she wants. And that was an interesting ride all the way down the line. With 8:10 on the clock, 88 world champ Barton Lynch standing by from the competitor's zone. Barton, this is a classic all-Australian battle, regular versus goofy. Right now, Sally seems to be picking off some really smooth waves.
A priority. So Bronte had priority when she got that wave. Here's the replay, mate. I'll go through this one. See her driving off the top, nice arc out of the top, holds the bottom turn, back up into the lip, kind of mistimed that one just a little bit. But I think it was the back end of this ride where it just went all the way down through the free surface, down through Greenmount. You can see Sal now waiting for it to stand up. Another beautiful snap out of the top as this thing stands up. There's a lot of foam and mushiness, but she's keeping it going. Keep the scores ticking over. We know that that length of ride isn't going to come into it, but everything you do is going to keep adding to the performance, adding to that potential score. So going to be interesting to see where this one comes in, looking to improve on that 6.77. But it's not every day you get a ride that is that long, so she'll be stoked on just the length of ride and the fact that it went clean and green down the inside. You know, this is a tough heat, and as you said, Bronte got the better of her here last year, so, you know, a bit of a grudge match for Sal, and I know she was very disappointed in last year's result. She'll want to get her back this year.
That's right, Barton. Let's talk about Sally Fitzgibbons, one of the best athletes coming out of Australia. We'll watch her through this wave as well. She's got a big section just to kick out underneath of as we see this swell increase. Here's some great world title showdowns as we have 3:20 on the clock. Sally Fitzgibbons is going to line up this right-hander. Fades back to the pocket. Arcs it real quick. Still has some room on the inside now with more speed. So 3 solid hooks. wisely kind of ditches that whitewater section, and now it looks like it's going to leave her behind to qualify for the next season. First, we'll look at this wave real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether this is going to go into her top two. Nice opening maneuver right there. I like the smooth, clean approach from Sally. You know, I think she's still got so much more left in the tank. She really hasn't had to sort of really push herself in this heat. She's just quite easily really posted some big scores. So Sally moves through to the quarterfinals. Keeps her dreams alive this year.
Martin Fitzgibbons happy with that result, and a year later getting the payback on Bronte Macauley, this time in the later parts of the contest, as Sally Fitzgibbons moving on to the quarterfinals to compete on finals day. And one spot left in the quarters for the Roxy Pro with Stephanie Gilmore, the 6-time world champ, coming up against last year's runner-up the world, Courtney Conlogue. Already starting to think about the world title predictions. Even though it's stop number 1, Potts, we've learned it's never too early to talk about it.
No, it's not.
We start talking about it in the warm-up surfs before the horn sounds.
So who's going to win?